Let us have a look at spiral dynamics percentages of the world population, center of gravity of the world population, and some countries like the USA, Germany, Denmark, United Kingdom, and also some smaller societies like Auroville or the Kogi. Why? Because a lot has changed during the last 9 months of crisis. Centers of gravity have shifted quite a bit. Hello, this is Chris speaking, Wake Up. And this is a video about spiral dynamics and the centers of gravity of the world population and some countries and smaller societies during and after the crisis. It's January 2021 now. For about 9 months, the world has been plunged into chaos. And this has caused many shifts in centers of gravities, up and down. So to say, there's no up and down and there's no better or worse, but still, let's stay with the system for the purpose of clarity. Some people have descended into fear and thus into blue, red, purple, and others have risen into consciousness. The crisis, the absurdity of the whole situation showed them that there is more, and they have progressed into green and yellow. Previously, the most popular colors were red, blue, and orange. Let's have a look at the world population right now. There's a clear majority of blue. Blue because there's so much fear and there's the hope that the government will solve the crisis, or that God will solve the crisis. But it's an obedient kind of center of gravity. It's not about action, but about reaction and hoping that someone else will solve it. There's also a lot of red and orange and green, but mostly blue. But orange, green, and yellow rising. Green is above 10%, which is good. Orange is above 10%. Everything above 10% is an active center of gravity for large groups of people. And second tier colors, yellow and above, are below 1%. Then the USA, United States of America, are probably the most influential country in the whole world. And also on this channel, it's the country where most listeners of this channel come from. About 25% of all listeners of this channel are from the United States. The United States are very interesting because it's almost equal percentages of red, blue, and orange. There's a lot of orange. It's a very strong orange country, but orange has diminished, and a lot of people have slided into blue and red. Also blue, of course. America is a very religious country. But there's also a strong green part above 10% and the usual less than 1 second tier. Then second most viewers for this channel are from India. So let's have a look at India, a very spiritual country, but also a very diverse country. India is mostly blue center of gravity, almost 50%. But there's a strong orange percentage, also some purple, some green, some red, but mostly blue. But orange is on the rise. Then next on my list is Great Britain, which is in Europe the country that has the most problem with the current health and economic crisis. Great Britain is a very orange country. Almost 50% orange. Some blue, some red, 10% green, and less than 1% yellow. And orange is cutting edge, basically. Basically, orange is still cutting edge. Green is developing. It has reached a world center of gravity of more than 10%, but it's still not so strong, and yellow is also still has not reached 1%, but will soon. Then let's have a look at Germany, which is a well-known blue country with strong orange parts. Right now it's mostly orange because many blue people have either slided down towards red or ascended towards orange. Unfortunately, also Germany has a very strong Green Party and green movement, but a lot of green people have left green. The crisis was just too much for them and they have slided down into orange or blue. So right now, mostly orange and red with a strong blue part, and a green probably a little bit below 10 and the usual below 1% second tier. Then another country where there are many listeners of this channel from is Denmark, and Denmark is a very, very interesting country because most of the Scandinavian countries and the Netherlands, they're very green. They are the vanguard of a new cutting edge, the green-centered country. Denmark has around a third green center, third orange, and a third blue. And the usual 1% yellow. Probably 1% and not less than 1%. Which is a natural consequence of so many people being in green. And there's just more room for yellow development. Then let's have a look at a Western country in the East, Australia, where also many listeners from this channel come from. Australia is mostly blue and orange. A little bit more blue than orange, but that's basically it. Mostly blue and orange, a little bit of red and green, and the usual less than 1% yellow. Forgive my choice of pictures. I just felt a little bit touristy today. Then I want to introduce a very special country, Bhutan. Bhutan is a Buddhist country. They're really living Buddhism, the whole country, which means they know that the world is a show. It's a stage, it's an illusion, and they're not waiting for God to solve the problems because in Buddhism there is no God. So Bhutan is mostly blue and green. Almost no orange and red, which is very rare. Mostly blue and green, very interesting combination. And a lot of yellow. They actually have reached 10% yellow. This may be the only country in the world, I'm not sure. And then some smaller societies, Auroville, a spiritual community of more than 3,000 people in South India, international, almost 60 different nationalities, has been existing for more than 50 years. Auroville is mostly green. About 50% or more than 50% green. Also, they have reached the 10% yellow. And they even have about 1% turquoise and above. So as a center, the main center is green. And then there's some blue and yellow. Yellow is, of course, in a spiritual community, it fits. Blue also because some people just interpret spirituality as religion. They don't know the difference. But apart from green, yellow and blue, almost no other colors. And lastly, an example for South America, a tribe or collection of tribes in the jungle mountains of Colombia, the Kogi. Watch my movie about the Kogi or the movie Aluna and you will see that this is mostly a green society. Actually, it's about 80% green. It is often being claimed by orange spell dynamic specialists that all tribes are purple. This is not true. There are many, many green tribes out there. And the Kogi are one of them. So about 80% green, about 10% yellow, about 10% blue, and that's it. How is this possible? Because the leadership is turquoise, the priests are mostly turquoise and yellow, and the whole purpose of living for the Kogi is to save the planet, for whom it is a living being. So to summarize, in many countries there has been a split. Some people have moved towards blue and red, and some people have moved towards green. So orange is a bit of a bottleneck. It needs more orange people to produce more green people, to produce more yellow people. So this is why there's so much talk about the economy, growth of the economy. This is orange. It needs to be that way, unfortunately. But in the long run, this will also mean that more and more economists will slide into green and then see that the purpose of economy cannot be to destroy the planet along the way. Or at least the human race. It's probably not the planet that gets destroyed by us, but it's a form of self-extinction that we're practicing right now. But there is hope. There's more and more green, more and more yellow, then more and more people waking up, more and more people to whom enlightenment happens. So let's see what happens the rest of this year. This has been a summary of what has happened so far from March 2020 until now, January 2021. So let's see how this adventure will go on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing or joining me on Patreon or Facebook, and see you soon.